who has tortellini? Okay, so you're gonna need to make your dough today.
Yep.
So, because we don't have class on Wednesday. So, Aaron, minus 25. No. So, your tortellini, you're going to have to make your dough today. Everybody else, including, I forgot my hat, you're going to have to kit out your dough today. Okay? Okay. So this is what I want your kit to look like. You see this? Picture. You can see what this looks like. Paparazzi. Pastarazzi. Oh, this is 10 ounces of semolina, not salmonella flour. Please pronounce it properly. That would not be good. And 10 ounces of all-purpose flour. Bam. Not salmonella. And then salt. Draw all your dry ingredients. Okay. You whisk them together. Then you take your wet ingredients, which include 1 whole egg in this size bowl and 5 yolks. Ew, he's touching eggs. 1. 2. 3. 4. 3.5 really. And 5. Okay. This gets discarded. And then you go wash your hands. What's you? And 3/4 cup water. She measured properly. Yes. 3/4 cup water. 2 tablespoons of milk. And olive oil. So all your liquids together, okay? So far so good? It's not rocket science? Then you're going to whisk all your wet ingredients really well to combine. Try and keep most of them in your bowl. So now you have wet and dry, okay? Now, where does pasta originally come from? Where? China, yeah, Asia. But where do you all like associate pasta from? Italy. Can you guys go like this? And I'll go, hey. Hey. Okay, so you're Italian for the day. And then you take this and you're going to make a well in the center of your flour. This is why they do this, because it's a cooking thing. Okay? You make a well and you pour all of your liquid ingredient in there. Some of it. No, all of it, okay? You pour all your liquid in there. Okay, so far so good. Then you're going to start swirling your liquid around. You're going to lap up the sides, kind of like a beach, like erosion on a beach. You're just going to kind of incorporate some of the flour into the egg mixture. Slowly. And you're going to do this until your whisk becomes useless.
Why are you doing it?
that way rather than just like pouring cement at a time and whiskey?
Because this is the way my nana always did it. No, you want to incorporate the flour into the liquid slowly so you don't get lumps in there. This is called the well method. If you've ever seen a recipe that says well method, this is it. And so now my whisk is kind of getting useless here. So I'm going to stop and do it while it's still liquid like this, otherwise it's a pain to get off. Tap everything off of there. And then you're going to move to your other whisk. Okay, all you're going to do is you're going to just toss all the dry on top of the wet. And you're going to incorporate it. Until everything comes together. Once you pretty much have it there, you can pour it out onto your table. And there's your pasta dough. Oh, sorry, did I do that? What's that?
For like gluten-free pasta.
Gluten-free pasta is a whole other animal, but I imagine you would just bring it together. Because what we're doing right now is we're actually going to develop the gluten that's in here. Gluten is a protein that's formed from two different proteins, glutamine and gliadin. So those are the two proteins that when they're agitated like this and kneaded, or it'll actually form even in just in your refrigerator with time. But this is the process, what I'm doing right now, this kneading and bringing it together, that actually forms gluten. And gluten is an important element in breads and doughs because it's what provides structure. If you don't develop your gluten here, you're not going to be able to take your pasta dough and roll it out to number 6 and have this huge long piece of pasta dough. When we do it, I'll show you. So this part, this is the kneading, and this is very, very important. You do this part now for 7 minutes. And so what they do in gluten-free bread, or what they try to do, is use other ingredients to simulate structure, because they haven't really quite got it yet. But so notice I'm using my whole body, and what I'm trying to do is like really just push down and create stress and tension on this dough. Turn it, stretch. If it's a little too wet, add a little flour. If it's a little too dry, add a little water. But you'll notice as you're doing it, it's going to get harder and harder, and that's because we're stretching out the gluten strands and really trying to make that protein work for us. And I'm using the blade or palm of my hand, and I'm pushing down on there. You turn it back, push into it, roll, stretch it, and roll it back. That's what's going to give you that. So kind of like this, like, so would you like do this weekend? Like, oh my gosh, it's so fun. Like, that's not going to work. Okay, so you really need to get in there. And it's okay to sweat a little bit. Just adds a little seasoning in your dough.
Is it okay if you do it longer than 7 minutes, or
you can overwork it.
okay?
Yeah, 7 minutes seems to be a good point where you develop enough gluten so that when you're rolling it, it'll actually have some elasticity. This is a great fresh pasta dough recipe. You can do lasagna sheets, anything, any stuffed pasta, anything you want to do. It's a great recipe for it.